The boiling point of alcohol is much higher compared to those alkenes, haloalkane, ether, carbonyl with comparable molecular weights. This is because alcohol is a polar molecule, so it has the intermolecular London force, dipole-dipole, and hydrogen bond between its molecule, but the most dominant intermolecular forces in alcohol is the hydrogen bond. While in alkenes is a nonpolar molecule, so it only has a London force exists between its molecule, while haloalkane, ether, and carbonyl, these three are the polar molecule, so it has a London force and also dipole-dipole exists between its molecule, but the most dominant is the dipole-dipole. For example, if we have ethanol and propane, okay, so if you look at the molecular weight of these two compounds, okay, the molecular weight are comparable. So ethanol and propane have a comparable molecular weight, but the boiling point of ethanol is much higher compared to the propane. This is because a strong intermolecular hydrogen bond exists between ethanol molecule, while in propane there's only weak intermolecular van der Waals force, which is the London force that exists between its molecule. The hydrogen bond is stronger than the London force, so that's why the boiling point of ethanol is much higher compared to propane. Alcohol with bigger molecular weight has higher boiling point. Okay, for example, if we want to compare the boiling point of ethanol and 1 propanol, okay, so the molecular weight of 1 propanol is bigger than the molecular weight of ethanol. So we can see here the boiling point of 1 propanol is much higher than the ethanol. So why does this happen? Because the molecules with bigger molecular weight has a larger surface area and stronger intermolecular van der Waals forces exist between them. So more energy is needed to overcome the forces. So that's why 1 propanol has much higher boiling point than ethanol. Alcohols with more OH group will have higher boiling point if their molecular weights are comparable. For example, if we have 1 propanol and 1,2-ethanediol, if you look at the molecular weight of these two compounds, it is a comparable size, okay, comparable molecular weight, but the boiling point of 1,2-ethanediol is much higher compared to the boiling point of 1 propanol. This is because 1,2-ethanediol has 2 OH group, but 1 propanol only has 1 OH group present. Molecules with more OH group will form more hydrogen bond. So as the number of the hydrogen bond increases, the stronger the hydrogen bond. That's why 1,2-ethanediol has higher boiling point than 1 propanol. Let's have a look at an example. Okay, so arrange the following compounds in increasing order of boiling point and explain your answer. Since we only have the IUPAC name of the compound, so we need to draw the structure first. Okay, so we have 1,2-ethanediol, and butane is a butane. Okay, so we have 1 propanol and 1,3-propane-diol. And then we are going to calculate its molecular weight. Okay, kita kena kira dia punya molecular weight. Okay, so 1,2-ethanediol 62 gram per mole. Okay, and butane 58 gram per mole, 1 propanol 60 gram per mole, and 1,3-propane-diol 76 gram per mole. Okay, so here we can see that only 1,3-propane-diol has the largest molecular weight, while these three, the molecular weight are comparable. Okay, so next, identify the type of intermolecular force present. Okay, so since here we have an alcohol, okay, ada OH group, so it means that dia akan ada London force, dipole-dipole, and also hydrogen bond between its molecule, while N-butane is a non-polar, so dia hanya ada London force between its molecule. Okay, and 1 propanol, okay, alcohol, this one pun alcohol pun sama je macam ni. Okay, so since these three, okay, dia comparable size, okay, so dia punya effect dekat sini adalah the type of intermolecular force. Okay, so kita tahu N-butane, okay, our N-butane ni dia mempunyai the lowest boiling point sebab apa? Sebab dia hanya ada London force between its molecule. So it's only exists London force between its molecule. So London force ni dia lebih lemah berbanding hydrogen bond. So hydrogen bond is stronger than London force. Okay, so our N-butane will become our compound A. So kita nak susun increasing order of boiling point. So dia yang paling rendah. Okay, so saya akan bagi B. Okay, so sekarang ni this one the largest molecular weight. So of course sebab dia hydrogen bond, hydrogen bond, hydrogen bond. So the one with biggest molecular weight will have largest surface area. So dia punya boiling point lagi tinggi. So ni yang paling tinggi. Okay, so antara these two. Okay, so since here we have two OH group, ini hanya ada satu saja OH group, size the comparable. So the one with more OH group can form more hydrogen bond. So ini akan jadi ini akan dia punya boiling point lebih rendah compared to this one. So this one will become my compound B, and then C, this one has the highest boiling point, so dia akan jadi compound D. So kita susun. Okay, A, B, C, D, increasing order of boiling points. So sekarang ni kita nak explain our answer. So sebenarnya waktu kita susun ni pun kita dah explain sebenarnya. Okay, so kita akan pecahkan kepada beberapa bahagian. So kita bergantung kepada berapa banyak efek yang ada. Kalau tadi kita tengok dia ada 3 efek. The first one kita compare this one and also the other 3. Okay, hydrogen bond dengan Lambda force. So efek dia adalah type of intermolecular force. Okay, the second one is this one the highest compared to these two. Okay, walaupun ketiga-tiganya hydrogen bond sebab dia punya molecular weight paling besar. Okay, so dah ada 2 faktor. Okay, and then C and B pula, these two are comparable size, but then this one has 2 OH group attached to it, while this one only has 1 OH group. So this one can make more hydrogen bond. So sebab tu dia punya boiling point lagi tinggi. So kita ada 3 faktor dalam soalan ni. Okay, so to put it in words, so saya akan tunjukkan macam mana nak tulis dia dalam bentuk ayat. Right, so first kita akan explain why the boiling point of compound A is the lowest. This is because compound A only has weak intermolecular van der Waals forces, which is London force between its molecule, while B, C, and D have hydrogen bonding exists between their molecules. So hydrogen bond is stronger than London force, so that's why. Next, why the boiling point of compound D is higher than B and C. This is because compound D has the biggest molecular weight and it has the largest surface area compared to B and C. So a stronger intermolecular van der Waals forces exist between its molecule. So it will need more energy to overcome the forces. Okay, so that's why D has higher boiling point than B and C. Right, so last but not least, why the boiling point of compound C is higher than B? This is because compound C has 2 OH groups while B only has 1 OH group present. So compound C can form more hydrogen bonding between its molecule. So as the number of hydrogen bond increases, the stronger the hydrogen bond. So that's why compound C has higher boiling point than B. Now, let's have a look at the solubility of alcohol in water. So for alcohol that has the number of carbon less than 6, so it means that 5 carbon and below, since the alcohols are polar molecules, it can form a hydrogen bond with water molecules, thus it is soluble in water. But if the number of carbon is bigger than 5, okay, so as the alkyl group increases, the hydrophobic area also increases, thus the solubility in water will decreases. Okay, so the hydrophilic area is only on the OH group. Okay, pada OH ni kita punya hydrophilic area yang sukakan air, yang menyebabkan the alcohol soluble in water. But the hydrophobic area, the alkyl group, okay, alkyl group ni kita panggil dia hydrophobic area. So the hydrophobic area ni dia tak sukakan air. So bila dia tak sukakan air, makin besar this alkyl group, okay, semakin besar alkyl group, semakin besarlah our hydrophobic area. So it will makes our alcohol less soluble in water. Okay. Alcohol that have more OH group attached to it has higher solubility if the molecular weight are comparable. This is because it can form more hydrogen bond with water molecules. For example, here, the solubility of 1,5-pentane diol is much higher compared to 1-hexanol. This is because the 1,5-pentane diol has 2 OH groups, so it can form more hydrogen bonding with water molecules. alcohols of any size are soluble in organic solvent. The hydrophobic part, which is the alkyl group in alcohol, makes the alcohol less hydrophilic, but it will cause alcohol soluble in nonpolar organic solvent. Okay, so the alkyl group part here can form intermolecular van der Waals forces with a nonpolar organic solvent. So that's why, regardless the size, alcohol are soluble in organic solvent. Let's have a look at an example. Okay, so arrange the following compounds in decreasing order of solubility in water and explain your answer. Okay, so we have ethanol, 1 butanol, and 1,2-ethane diol. So the structure of the compound, so ethanol got 2 carbons, so 1, 2, and then we have the OH group, okay, on the first carbon, so 1, 2 ethanol. Okay, so 1 butanol, we have 4 carbonoglycerine, and then the OH group is on the first carbon, right? And also 1,2-ethane diol, so 2 carbon, and then the 2 OH group is attached on the first and also second carbon. Okay, so these three compounds are an alcohol, so it has a hydrogen bond, okay, between its molecule, and it can form hydrogen bond with water molecules. Okay, so since sebenarnya ketiga-tiga compound ini adalah soluble in water, but then okay, ada beza dia. Okay, the one that have more alkyl group, okay, lebih banyak alkyl group present. Okay, so the alkyl group is the hydrophobic area. So lagi banyak alkyl group, lagi kurang solubility. So in decreasing order, okay, so since here ethanol and 1,2-ethane diol, dua-dua ada 2 saja carbon, but then the one with more OH group will be more soluble in water because it can form more hydrogen bond with water molecules. So this one akan jadi my compound A, okay, yang paling soluble, and then followed by ethanol, okay, and then the last soluble compound should be 1-butanol. Okay, so arrange the compound in order of decreasing order, okay, of solubility in water. Alright, so we have A, B, C, decreasing order of solubility in water. So since kita nak susun ni tadi pun, kita dah tahu, okay, kenapa this one yang paling soluble, kenapa this one yang paling kurang soluble. So to put it in words, okay, kita nak explainkan dia dalam perkataan, dalam bentuk ayat, okay. Alright, so first we explain why the compound A has higher solubility than B and C. So compound A has 2 OH group while B and C only have 1 OH group present. So compound A can form more hydrogen bonding with water molecules. So that's why it is more soluble compared to B and C. So next, okay, why the solubility of compound B is higher than C? This is because compound C, which is our 1-butanol, has bigger alkyl group compared to B. So kalau kita tengok butanol ada 4 carbon, okay, ethanol only got 2 carbon. So as the alkyl group increases, the hydrophobic area increases. So that's why C is less soluble than B.